Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, my name is Jenifer Jenkins. Thank you so much for stopping by. In today's video, I'm going to be sharing with you 5 things that you can do right now to make people feel instantly more attracted to you. I feel like this is going to be such a fun video, so let's go ahead and jump in. So before I get started, I did want to say that the kind of attraction that I'm talking about is not attraction that is solely based on like physicality, obviously we have these primal instincts to find people who possess certain, physical attributes or qualities. We naturally find them physically attractive. But the kind of attraction that I'm going to be talking about today kind of goes beyond that. It's the type of attraction that makes people feel drawn to you or intrigued by you, or they naturally want to gravitate to you because you are triggering or stimulating some feeling in them that causes them to feel just more attracted to you. And this can apply to any relationship, not just, a love interest. It can also apply to work relationships, friendships, and it all comes down to our body language and the signals and messages that we are conveying to other people that either, encourages them or discourages them from feeling attracted to us. Number 1, be mindful of the way that you stand. Research actually shows that demonstrating availability and confidence are actually 2 qualities that almost everyone finds attractive and people just naturally gravitate to. So in order to show that you're available and confident, the way to do that is to stand up straight and have an open body posture. When you stand up straight and have an open body posture, not only does it signal youth, because as we age, we naturally start to develop bad body posture. So that's just kind of like a little added benefit. But on top of it, you're conveying messages that you're interested, you're interesting, that you possess, a certain level of confidence and a certain level of charisma. We all naturally gravitate our attention to the person who seems the most confident and has the most charisma in the room. That's just a given. You've heard it before that confidence can make somebody so attractive. You can literally be a 5, and if you have a ton of confidence and a lot of charisma, you can be a 10. And the opposite is also true. You can be a 10, and if you have no confidence and seem very insecure and have no charisma, it can actually detract from your beauty. So, and I hate to use a scale like that, but I'm just trying to, get my point across. So the goal with body language is to send the right messages so that people feel naturally attracted to you. When you're standing upright with an open body posture, you look more welcoming. You look like you want to engage, in conversation or a relationship of some sort. So if you're standing like this, a lot of women tend to stand like this. I don't know why. I don't see a lot of men doing it. But if you're standing like this, or if you're standing with your arms crossed and just kind of hunched over, you're actually minimizing yourself. And unfortunately, when you do that, people perceive you as less attractive and less welcoming. Number 2, the slow head nod. This one is so important when it comes to communication, and it's got to be a slow head nod. And the reason why is that whenever you're engaged in a conversation with somebody and they are slowly nodding their head, that slow head nod indicates that they have an ongoing interest in what you have to say. They're basically saying, I acknowledge you and I'm listening to you and I'm deeply interested in what you have to say. The opposite is true if it's a fast head nod. So if you are talking to somebody and you're engaged in a conversation and they're, shaking their head real fast like that, that usually indicates some sort of impatience. They are sending messages that I'm feeling impatient. I don't really care what you have to say. Can you hurry up and wrap it up because I have something to say? Or they just want to shut down the conversation altogether and they're like, okay, I've heard enough. I don't want to hear anymore. Now, the reason that the slow head nod is so important when it comes to like the law of attraction is because people are just naturally more drawn to people who make them feel better about themselves. So if you are in a conversation with somebody and they seem very interested in what you have to say and they seem very invested, in the words that are coming out of your mouth, that is going to make you feel good and you're naturally going to be more drawn to them. You're naturally going to feel, an attraction towards them. The opposite is true if they are seeming impatient or they seem like they want to exit the conversation. Obviously, that's going to make you feel bad about the words that are coming out of your mouth, and you're going to feel less drawn to them and less attracted to them. Number 3, mirroring someone actually makes you appear more attractive to them. And this one's kind of funny. I seem to do this really often with my older sister. I seem to pick up on like her mannerisms, her speech patterns, her facial expressions. She tells a lot of jokes. And so I pick up on her facial expressions and stuff like that. But whenever you mirror somebody, and most people do it subconsciously, most of us don't have to try to mirror someone, we just naturally do it. But if you want someone to feel a little bit more attracted to you, or feel like they can trust you or have some sort of rapport with you, then you should try to mirror their body posture and their mannerisms without being too obvious, of course. And the way to do that is just to kind of observe, the way that they're standing or sitting or behaving, and just kind of slowly move into positions that kind of mimic what they're doing, again, without being too obvious. It could be something as simple as the way that they're holding their cup, or the way that they're crossing their legs, or the way that they're standing with their hands, in their pockets, in their back pockets, or something like that. But when you mirror someone, it actually creates and signals to that person that there's a certain level of trust and a certain level of rapport. There was actually this experiment where they had all these participants, and the researchers would mirror some of the participants and then they would not mirror others. And as they were leaving the room, they would drop all their pens. And the participants that were mirrored were actually 2 to 3 times more likely to help the researcher pick up the pens than the ones that were not mirrored. And they were just trying to prove that, whenever you mirror someone, subconsciously, you kind of encourage a certain level of trust and rapport with them, and it just increases their likelihood of goodwill towards you. Number 4, a firm handshake. Whether you are a man or a woman, a firm handshake is always going to be perceived as more attractive, and it also conveys certain messages. Whenever you are shaking hands with somebody, you are always going to receive messages based on their handshake. You're either going to think, this person is trying to dominate me. You might think, I could easily dominate this person. Or you're going to think, we are mutually comfortable and have a certain level of respect for one another. So a dominant handshake is usually face down and a really, really tight grip. I'm not sure I've ever had anybody shake my hand like that. It would be very off-putting for me. But that supposedly is a dominant, very aggressive handshake, and they are trying to dominate. When their palm is up and it's just a really weak handshake, that's a very submissive handshake. That does not convey a confident message. But when you have a straight up and down handshake that is firm, you are basically conveying to that person that we're on the same playing field. I respect you, hopefully you respect me, and there's just a certain level of comfort, and they are naturally going to find you a little bit more attractive than had you used either one of the other handshakes. Number 5, touching. Not to be confused with groping. And this one can be a little bit tricky, but people who are touchers are naturally thought of as more confident. It takes a certain level of confidence to kind of invade somebody's space and reach out and extend a touch. And sometimes you do have to be careful with with touching other people, because it can send messages that you are being flirtatious or that you are interested, in getting to know them other than just a friendship. But either way, touch is one of the quickest ways to build an attraction with somebody. It's actually a very, very powerful tool. Now, the reason that most people are just naturally attracted to people who extend a touch is because there's actually research that shows that if done correctly, touch can be a very, very powerful tool for building trust. Also, whenever you make a physical connection with another person, it releases a hormone called oxytocin. And oxytocin is just that feel-good hormone. Oxytocin is actually released during lactation to help build like a trusting bond between a mother and a child. So it's a very powerful hormone. So whenever you touch someone and their body releases oxytocin, they naturally feel like they can trust you and that they can bond with you, and they're just naturally more attracted to you. So that is all I have for you today. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Y'all let me know if you like this style of video. I love making videos like this. I love these types of topics. I'm very familiar with most of it because I have a degree in psychology and a minor in sociology. But I love when I get to, just really dive in more deep, because I love learning about other people, but I also learn about myself, along the way. And I just love it. So anyway, you guys just let me know if you like this style of video, because if you do, then I will put more out like this. So anyway, I hope you guys are having a fantastic weekend, and hopefully I will see you back here next week.